Welcome back, friends, family, brethren, and red pillars. In today's video, we will be exposing bread and circuses, which is distraction. We've all heard the term, history repeats itself. With that being said, it's important to study history to know the present and the future. Even the scriptures tell us there is nothing new under the sun. So we are going to go into this video to see how the Romans kept the masses in check, and from ever caring about the manipulation, the dishonesty, the cruel treatment, and the bogus laws from the government, and how that same strategy is being used today. Bread and circuses is a metonymic phrase referring to superficial appeasement. It is attributed to Juvenal, a Roman poet active in the late 1st and early 2nd century AD, and is used commonly in cultural, particularly political contexts. In a political context, the phrase means to generate public approval, not by excellence in public service or public policy, but by diversion, distraction, or by satisfying the most immediate or base requirements of a populace, by offering a palliative, for example, food or entertainment. Juvenal, who coined the phrase, used it to decry the selfishness of common people and their neglect of wider concerns. The phrase implies a population's erosion or ignorance of civic duty as a priority. Give them bread and circuses, and they will never revolt.
You might want to ask yourself why the entire culture is utterly saturated with mass media entertainment from all sides, while the educational system in America continues its stupefying downward slide since the U.S. government decided to take over and subsidize the public school system.
What your government pays for, it gets. When we understand that, then we look at government-financed institutions of education, and turned out by these government-financed schools, logic will tell you that if what is being turned out in those schools was not in accord with what the state and the federal government wanted, then it would change it. The bottom line is that the government is getting what they have ordered. They do not want your children to be educated. They do not want you to think too much. That is why our country and our world has become so proliferated with entertainments, mass media, television shows, amusement parks, drugs, alcohol, and every kind of entertainment to keep the human mind entertained, so that you don't get in the way of important people by doing too much thinking. You had better wake up and understand that there are people who are guiding your life and you don't even know it.
And that means you can't rely on the media as it is today either.
Oh, of course not. All the media in this country, radio, television, and print, is all owned by 5 corporations. All of these corporations that own the media are owned and controlled, and members of the Council on Foreign Relations sit on their board of directors.
Can you name those 5 corporations? Is that...
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
I could try, but I don't want to take a chance on being inaccurate. But you can trace that yourself.
Okay.
Remember, if you go down and you trace the ownership of a station or a newspaper, and you get to a corporation, remember that somebody owns that corporation, and it's usually another corporation. But when you trace the interlocking of all these things, when you get to the top, there's 5. And all journalists know that there's some things you don't write about, and you don't talk about, because you'll lose your job. And that's where the control is. And that's why they pay anchormen like Dan Rather $2 million a year, because he doesn't question them. He knows that if he goes against them, he's going to lose $2 million a year. Do you think a man that looks pretty and sits in front of a TV camera for the 6 o'clock news is worth $2 million a year? No way. I don't care how long he works, and I don't care what he does. There is no job worth $2 million a year. That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated, so they don't ever question the emperor. That's why they pay a player on a football team or a baseball team $1 million or $2 million or $3 million a year. It is the Roman circus. I know men who don't know anything in the world except who plays third base for the Mets, and they think that's a great accomplishment. And they meet and pat each other on the back and bond and go have cocktails and talk about what this guy that plays third base for the Mets did in last night's game. It's sad. It's really sad.
Is there any room in a kind of society where these manipulations are not taking place for this type of entertainment, or any type of entertainment at all?
If people understand that a game is a game, if people understand that nobody, no matter what they do, is worth paying $2 or $3 million a year for, people should be able to get rich if they want to, by the sweat of their individual labor. Okay? By going out and doing something for the world. Not by taking people's minds away from the emperor. It's a game. Football's a game. Football's a game. But let me tell you something. When 150 of the most powerful men and women in the world can meet in secret in Baden-Baden, Germany, and plot the fate of billions, and nobody even cares about it, but 6 football players go to lunch together, and it's in the headlines across the country, you have a reflection of the society in which that exists. And it is a sick society that is doomed to self-destruction.
So based on that scenario, there's some truth into what these men are looking at.
Absolutely, and that's what makes me so sick, is that I'm trying to wake up a people who on a daily basis are proving the ones that I'm warning them about to be right.
Slot receiver like a tight end, close to the quarterback. Sideline's not his enemy. Well, he's authority.
Here's a good return all the way. It's Ross. McBride's trying to give chase. Ross turns it on. The afterburners activated for the touchdown.
Series for Houston. What it takes. 12-play drives to usually score against this defense, even a field goal.
It's Dion Lewis. From the 2 and taken off. He's taken off. Peters trying to chase him. That is not a fair match. Lewis is going to break it. 98 yards.
For Deshaun Kaiser. How does Landry Jones and Pittsburgh respond? This is Juju Smith-Schuster from inside his own 5. Breaking a tackle. Here he goes. The rookie into open terrain. Breaking tackles. And the 21-year-old is into the end zone for the touchdown.
Harris. He'd like to sting his former team. Dwayne Harris, the former Cowboy. No flags. Touchdown.
like he did. Oh, wrecking behind Chase Elliott around.
Spinning around,
No
still
caution
green.
yet.
Still green.
Still green, and here they come.
And here comes Blaney.
Ryan Blaney up behind Ryan Newman, trying to get him to Hamlin.
Newman backed up to Blaney. Big run coming here.
To the inside, Newman to the front.
Nothing Denny Hamlin could do. What can Ryan Blaney now do? Here comes a push from Denny Hamlin. Oh, this thing's not over yet. Not at all.
Ryan Newman off turn 4 for the final time. Blaney to the outside, to the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside.
Wow.
Crash into the wall, into the air. Goes Newman.
Upside down.
In a shower of sparks on his roof, Ryan Newman comes across the line, 4th. And comes to rest. Scoring unofficial between Hamlin and Blaney as far as who crossed the finish line first. Newman got turned, went up in the air. As he came down, was hit by another car and launched skyward, coming down on his roof. The AMR safety team is there quickly to attend to Ryan Newman.
They're off. Silver Nemo the grey in stall 4. Edgy jumped a little awkwardly, only coming together with Desert Boots Silver Jacket, who's firmly on the back foot now, pushed along in last place. Desert Boots, as a result of that collision, leaving the stalls in this Ladbrokes Watch Racing Online for free handicap. Extracurricular, the orange sleeves and cap handy into the turn, working across to the Queen's Ladies and Galliaphobia in the maroon and yellow. Back in mid-division, upside down, maroon and yellow forced very wide. The yellow cap pushed along now, some 4 or 5 lengths off the lead. Dusk Art, meanwhile, green cap tracks the leading trio into the straight to the white face down Dini, favourite Tash Beer, the sheepskin noseband. Then Ellen Road Boy in the dark blue and white from the ridden along upside down, further back to Kodiak Brown Bear. Silver Nemo the grey second from the right, and further right Desert Boots is in rear, and on the extreme left Harworth with the white face is last of all there. Inside the 2, Galliaphobia down the centre in the maroon and yellow, coming to tackle Extracurricular. Here goes the nose-banded Tash Beer, then Duskart, Ellen Road Boy in the dark blue and white trying to thread a way through. Desert Boots is running on strongly on the far side from off the pace with Silver Nemo. Inside the furlong they come, and it's Desert Boots from last to first who's come storming through to take this. Desert Boots, in the end, a shea cozily from Silver Nemo, Extracurricular, Galliaphobia and Ellen Road Boy.
Cozy certainly.
Circuses! Sword! Give me your sword! Sword! Give me a sword!
Sheathe your sword! Sheathe your sword!
Punching opportunity.
What do you lose out of the playbook after taking a big liver shot like that? If you can even stay in the fight.
I mean, if you, A, it's hard to keep your right hand up. B, it's very hard to move. C, it's hard to breathe. So just about everything you need in a fight, you lose off the liver shot. It can come back.
Cyborg runs into the jump knee, and it's over.
Did the hype train just pick up speed? Because it didn't derail. Wow!
Another strike thrown by Michael Venom Page. From the moment the liver shot landed, the clock was ticking on Cyborg Santos. He took a chance and paid the big price.
And the way it happened, only MVP. Look at the liver shot that hurt him. Right here, look at this is slow motion, folks. Slow motion, and that's fast. Then here, look at this lunging shot. Could not have timed it any better. Off the right hand lead by Cyborg Santos. Bang! Beautiful.
Hard kick to the knee of Kresnik. A beautiful knee to the side of the head, and that really did hurt. Kresnik, he's on big wobbly legs, Kieran.
That come right underneath.
He's a big
right on his
split
nose.
across the nose. What a upset. What a great performance by Murad Bazidi. He pulled out of nowhere, didn't he?
Yeah, I think that's broke his nose on that one knee. They come right up heavy. You can just see it flattened his nose, isn't it? Split it right open. And he has some wobbly legs. Super power.
Absolute great shot though, wasn't it? Really well timed. Pushed him back into the corner. Boom. Straight up the middle with a knee. What a great shot. And you know what? That's the biggest win of Bazidi's career. His nose is absolutely... Look at that.
That's going to have to be put back in place.
Oh my
I'll tell you what.
goodness. That looks like plasticine, doesn't it?
That is absolutely horrific. And that just shows the power. Because the cornerman's going to try and put it back in line. Because...
I've never seen a nose get that splattered. Oh my goodness, that's terrible.
Yeah, he's going to have to see it
so dangerous this sport, isn't it? You can't play at this.
But I'll tell you what, that is one powerful knee. You can hear it in the replay.
A knee to the leg and then a high kick. So he kicked to the knee and then bang, there was the knee, it was just above us.
where he was trying to throw an overhand right, and as he put his head down, there's the knee.
There you go. What a horrible, horrible injury, though.
I want the young motherfuckers in here tonight, no matter what your nationality is, turn the motherfucking TV off for 1 week and see if you can survive. Motherfuckers are going to a television junkie motherfucking mode. Ain't no TV. I need my remote, nigga. I'm jonesing. It's called television programming. They telling you visually to program. You being programmed. You watch it on the news. It was on CNN. It's true. I seen it on Fox. It's real. It's bullshit. You know Obama ain't running shit. Puppet on the string. That nigga ran for office and said, I'm gonna stop both wars. Didn't he just send 60,000 more troops to Afghanistan? He took them out of Iraq. Them niggas thought they was going home. Shit, nigga, the war over. We going home. He like, nope, over there. They wives and shit, family thinking these motherfuckers coming home, nigga, they get shipped to a new war. And you know these wars is about what? Money, 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 money. Now, Iraq, we annexed that country. You know, took the oil, nigga. Now, if one thing you know about American motherfucking history, wherever we land, we don't leave. We already got 3 bases, permanent bases in Iraq. We still in Vietnam, still in motherfucking Korea, still got a base in Japan. Everywhere we land, we don't leave. You know what I mean? I thought it was called the United States of America, not the United Empire of Earth. You will do as I say. How the fuck we gonna go over to Iraq and tell them we giving these people freedom? They didn't ask for it. Wasn't no Iraqis over there. Come on over here. We want to vote. Them motherfuckers was chilling.
Politics in America today is identical to pro wrestling. And what I mean by that is, in front of the cameras and the public, we all hate each other. I'm going to kick my opponent's butt. I'm going to whale him from here to high water and beat the crap out of him. Yet behind the scenes, we all are friends going out to dinner.
Went to dinner together.
And it's all a work.
All intermarried. Show business.
It's showbiz. And that's what you have today in politics. The Democrats and Republicans aren't really opposed to each other.
Left and right mean nothing. The only thing that counts is, are you working for Wall Street?
When I was a kid, ABC had 47 foreign news bureaus in Europe. Now it has none. It buys its news in a can from, the European producers. And that's why, Americans, the only way that you can get foreign news in this country is if you go to BBC. And, that's why Americans, we're supposed to be the leader of the free world, of the entire world. And yet, we have no idea what's happening in other cultures or other countries. And that's why we, the American people, were able to be gulled into this neocon fantasy that we were going to be met by flowers and rose petals in the streets when we went into Iraq. And because they have no obligation to promote the public interest, their only obligation is to their shareholders. They serve that obligation not by explaining the difficult issues that we need to understand to make rational decisions in a democracy, but rather by entertaining us, by appealing to the lowest common denominator, the prurient interest that all of us have in the reptilian core of our brains for sex and celebrity gossip. So they give us 3 weeks of Anna Nicole Smith, and they give us, Lacey Peterson and Kobe Bryant and, Michael Jackson and, and Brad and Janet, Brad and Angelina. And we know more about Kate and Tom than we do about global warming. And American people are today the best entertained and the least informed people on the face of the earth. And that has profound implications for our democracy, because a democracy cannot function long if it does not, without an informed public.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
The last thing the men behind the curtain want is a conscious, informed public capable of critical thinking, which is why a continually fraudulent zeitgeist is output via religion, the mass media, and the educational system. They seek to keep you in a distracted, naive bubble, and they are doing a damn good job of it.
Now that no one buys our votes, the public has long since cast off its cares. The people that once bestowed commands, councilships, legions, and all else, now meddles no more, and longs eagerly for just 2 things: bread and games. Juvenile.